11 Interesting facts about axolotls. Is axolotl a fish or a reptile? Axolotl is not a reptile or a fish. This amphibian is a huge aquatic salamander that is unique to Mexico City's waters, Lake Xochimilco. All throughout their lives, axolotls remain adorable looking, like babies. Being neotenic animals, axolotls reach sexual maturity while retaining all of their larval characteristics. They inhale and exhale. Axolotls maintain their characteristic feathery external gills and stay aquatic, whereas many other amphibians, such as the salamander, will eventually acquire lungs and live on land. This implies that they will never grow teeth and will have to eat by suction instead of mouth. The natural habitat of the axolotl is severely threatened. These aquatic amphibians were once distributed in 2 high-altitude lakes in Mexico City, but they are now only found in Lake Xochimilco in the southern part of the city. To prevent flooding, the central Mexico City lake that used to be their home, Lake Chalco, was drained. Axolotls are rare because of habitat destruction and the introduction of tilapia and carp, which have reduced Xochimilco to a network of canals. Axolotls consume a wide variety of foods, including fish, worms, insects, and crustaceans. They will consume both dead and alive meat because they are not very fussy eaters. They regularly consume brine shrimp, beef liver strips, earthworms, fish pellets, and other foods in captivity. Axolotls that are young or have insufficient food might become cannibalistic and sever an appendage from a neighboring family member. Fortunately, the wounded axolotl may quickly regrow the lost body part because of its capability for regeneration. Axolotls have a range of colors and patterns. 4 distinct genes determine an axolotl's color, pigmentation, and pattern. Axolotls are primarily brown or black in the wild, with occasional olive or gold spots. They may change their color to better blend in with their surroundings, just like other salamanders. More often among axolotls raised in captivity are the lighter-colored varieties, such as albino, leucistic, having less pigmentation, and pink. Additionally, pigmented are the feathery gills that border the rear of an axolotl's head. They are especially noticeable in albino axolotls, which have a vivid red color. Axolotls are more advanced in their ability to regenerate than many other amphibians and fish, as they can regenerate parts of their brains and hearts, as well as their jaws, spinal cords, skin, ovaries, and lung tissue. Furthermore, an axolotl can rejuvenate itself continuously throughout the duration of its life. Therefore, researchers are very interested in its cells, attempting to use this animal's capacity for regeneration to people. If an axolotl loses a limb, the appendage will grow back, at just the right size and orientation. It's an amazing capability. The transition between the old and new vanishes entirely in a matter of weeks. When an axolotl is attacked by a hungry predator and loses a limb, the muscle, blood vessel, and bone in the missing limb can regenerate. Researchers have identified a little RNA sequence in axolotls that is in charge of the capability for regeneration. Their genome is big. It's difficult for scientists to sequence the DNA of axolotls because of their 32 billion DNA bases and genome, which is 10 times larger than that of humans. However, it's a crucial one, since it will provide light on how the axolotl uses stem cells to rebuild tissue. 2 genes that are involved in axolotl regeneration have already been discovered by scientists. The remarkable regenerating powers of axolotls have led scientists to extend their studies to include regeneration of other internal organs and the retina. Dancing is part of their mating rituals. Axolotls are ready to mate when they are 6 months old. The adult animals start the process by stroking each other's cloacal regions and then proceed to move in a circular dance-like motion together. Females breed once a year in the wild, more often in captivity, and lay between 100 and 300 eggs. There is no more parental participation after the eggs are safely deposited. After 10 to 14 days, the eggs hatch, and the young axolotls are left to fend for themselves. They face serious danger. The axolotl is extremely endangered in the wild and is only found in a tiny area of Mexico. They live in an area that is severely declining because of invasive species, pollution, and development, covering less than 4 square miles. They should be able to survive, if not necessarily in the wild, thanks to their value to science and their capacity for captive breeding. Scientists calculated that the population had decreased by 90% in 2009. They were declared extinct in the wild in 2015, but one was discovered a week later. It's unclear how many axolotls are left in the wild. The main goals of conservation efforts have been to restore the habitat of axolotls, raise the water level of Lake Xochimilco, and decrease the number of invasive fish species like carp and tilapia that the Mexican government introduced to alleviate food insecurity for low-income households. How to save the paradoxical axolotl? Preserve the axolotl. Encourage local educational initiatives that raise awareness of the axolotl's problem. Educate local tour guides on axolotls and promote their sharing of knowledge with guests during boat tours. To give the axolotl refuge, encourage nearby farmers to plant aquatic gardens. Contributions for axolotl education, breeding, restoration, and reintroduction programs can be made to the Association of Zoos and Aquariums Conservation Grants Fund. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.